Hey, welcome back to my channel, Just Doing Great Things. Welcome to springtime in Arkansas. That's right, folks. Yesterday we got 3 or 4 inches of snow, and today it's all the way up to 40 degrees, and tomorrow it's supposed to be up to 60. So that's Arkansas for you. Once we get past that weather talk, then let's go on with what we're doing today. Today it's a real treat for me. It's a Tomahawk ribeye. I'm going to take this Tomahawk ribeye and I'm going to season it with this California tri-tip seasoning I got in my BBQ box that I get each month, and it has kosher salt, black pepper, garlic, onion, and rosemary in it. I used this on the Arkansas cheesesteak sandwich recipe that I did here a while back, and I really like the flavors it gives to meat. So I'm going to put it on pretty thick and heavy to this Tomahawk ribeye, and we're going to sear it at about 450 degrees, get a good sear on it, and then we're going to take it and set it off to the side. And we are going to slow smoke it on this Pit Boss pellet grill at about 275 until it gets to 132 internal temp. Let's get started. All right, let's season this thing. This is a really thick cut of meat, so I'm thinking that we can really put some seasoning on this and it won't hurt it. All right. I'm gonna pat this on there. I don't really know why they call it sometimes a rub on when you're smoking meat, but looks like we've got that on there pretty good. Trying to get some of that seasoning off this cutting board. And I'm going to let that sit just for a bit. And then we're going to sear this thing. All right, let's sear this big old steak and see what we got today. Take this bad boy. Put it right on that hot part. And I'm gonna let it do what it does. been right around a minute. Let's see what we got going on here. Give y'all an idea. Oh, there you go. And then I'm just going to turn it slightly. I'm going to press down on it just so I can get some better grill marks on it. I am not trying to squeeze the juices out of this steak. I'm just trying to give it a firm push down just for the grill marks. Leave that on there for about another minute. Trying to get a decent crust on this thing. There we go. Go about a minute on this. I've got that window on the Pit Boss wide open. I've got it cranked up to about 450. We're just trying to sear this thing, give it a little bark, and then we're going to slow cook it for as long as it takes. That's right at a minute. There we go. And we'll give it a minute there. I'm going to press down, try to make sure I'm got full contact. For about a minute. Go ahead and get my probe set up so I can put a probe in it. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Now, I'm gonna close that window. Close that window and let's put this probe in here. Crank this down. I'm gonna go 250. I know I said 275, but we're gonna go 250. Really, I'm gonna start out over here, but I'm gonna let that cool down there in the middle. It'll eventually go there. All right, so we got her cranked down to 250, and we will wait till it cools down, then I'll move it around in there. All right, that center portion has cooled down a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and move that over. Still got some warmth to it though. we go. Probe's in. I went ahead and cranked her down to about 225. Let's try to get a little some good smoke on here. That's the thing about these pellet grills, they don't just put off tons of smoke. That's a heat source, and their smoke source is the pellets. So if you crank it down, you're going to get a little bit more smoke. So I want a little bit more smoke on this ribeye, so I'm going to crank her down to 225 for a bit, and then we'll come back and check on it and see how it's doing. Check the internal temp, and when it's done, we're going to pull it off. All right, looks like it's reached 132. It is time to take this bad boy off here. Pull that probe out. And grab that steak. Its glory, looking pretty. We're going to let this set up for about 10-15 minutes, put some butter on it, and we'll cut into it and see what it looks like. Well, there it is. Tomahawk ribeye, cooked to 132 degrees. Put a little bit of butter on it, and it looks fantastic. Can't wait to cut into this. I highly recommend you try this one.